Hi everyone, good afternoon to all of you. How are you all? Hello everyone, good afternoon. Hello everyone, good afternoon to all of you. So in today's class, we are going to study Employee Provident Fund Act 1952, right? In this act, I have covered all the important provisions. This is part 1 of the lecture. Part 2 will be tonight only. Okay? So don't worry, we will cover the entire EPF Act by today also. Not only this, I will provide you recording that you can revise Employee Provident Fund Act 1952 very fast. I will provide you recording also. So don't worry at all. Recording will be of less minutes and this is a detailed explanation of the entire act. Okay? I have divided this act into two parts just because of one reason. It becomes very lengthy for a student to sit at one go. Okay, so the understanding capacity of the student gets decreased by time to time. So that's why I have divided this act into two parts. Part 1 is here. Part 2 will be tonight 8:30 p.m. Don't worry. Okay. Okay. So who all are in class? Binoy, good afternoon. Yogita, good afternoon. Ishita, Vidhan, Priyam, Krisani, Action Club, Mayuri, Rahul Sharma. Good afternoon, lovely people. I hope you are ready for the class. Okay. So, this is a very famous quote. If you wish to get rich, save what you get. A fool can earn money, but it takes a wise man to save and dispose of it to his advantage. Do you think earning money is easy? Yes or no? Welcome to class, Archana. Earning money is easy. Okay, you will get employed in a job. You will be very fine with everything, and you will get a fixed salary, or it may be fluctuating also. But saving is very difficult. Okay, there are various kinds of people. Some want to enjoy their entire salary. Some are poor, so they could not afford that much, uh, so that they can save or they can enjoy. Some are very rich. They spend all their money in buying BMW, Hyundais and all. Don't you think saving money is very difficult? I want your opinion that if is saving difficult for you. I want your opinion that how much you have saved money till now. From childhood till now, by way of pocket money only, how much you have saved? A round figure. Saving and investing is also not difficult. I want to ask how much you have saved till now. Very difficult. It is very difficult to save, right? Do you know we all have gullaks near Diwali and all, near Diwali or near so many festivals? We all get so many kinds of gullaks from childhood. Okay, those are made of mud. Don't you think our parents introduced us to gullaks? Gullaks were of this shape. It is a round shape and it has this, and here it is a coin giving hole. Okay, coin putting hole is there. So what we used to do, whenever our parents used to give us money, we used to put all that money in gullaks. But demonetization broke all our savings. Demonetization came and all the gullaks which were made earlier, all have been broken just because the change of money. Is it painful? Yeah. So in foreign, what happened? In foreign, there was a clay. We have this type of gullaks. In foreign, there was a clay. Okay. So parents used to buy gullaks made of a clay. That clay's name was PYGG, pig. So due to the name of the clay being pig, the sculpturist or the people who or the carving and all people who used to make those gullaks, they give gullak the form shape of a pig. That's how piggy banks came into picture. So in foreign, small children and big children also and adults also, they used to save money in piggy banks. Why do they save money? Why do we save money? Why do we were inculcated the habit of saving money in gullaks or small banks? Don't you think it was such a lame idea of saving these uh, or it is very a good idea of saving money into these mud pots or piggy banks? Don't you think? For future plannings. Okay, Binoy, you are a children. You are a 4 years. Imagine you were a 4 years when your parents used to give you money, and 10 years also. How much will you plan your future with that little amount of gullak? How much will you plan with that little amount of gullak? Nothing much. Okay, so our parents inculcated the habit of saving when we were children. Okay, why do they inculcated the habit of saving? Because they knew the real worth of money comes from saving. Our our parents inculcated this habit just making us very updated about that money saved is much more beneficial than money which is earned. Money saved can help you make your future brighter. Money saved can help you do anything which you want. Money saved, money invested will help you in buying shares, buying stocks, will help you in the time of your emergencies, medical help, or if you want, if you are a old age person, it will help you at the time of retirement. If you are very rich, but sometimes family problems, due to family problems your children throw you out of the house, that saved money will be your uh, strength. You will gain so much from this money, don't you think? So that's why money is very important. That's why it is said that if you wish to get rich, save what you get. A fool can earn money, but it takes a wise man to save and dispose of to his own advantage. Okay? So person who saves are wise and person who do not save are not wise. They are fools. Okay? For them earning is easy, but saving is difficult. So which category of person you are, you decide in your mind. Okay? So see students, there were three kinds of people. One was poor, the other one was of middle class, the third one was very rich. Okay? So that poor person was earning how much? Just 1000 rupees. How much he is earning? 1000 rupees per month. This middle class individual is earning 15,000 per month. And this rich person is earning 15 lakhs per month. Here I can take 1500, so it will be familiar. 1500 per month. But the month end comes. Okay. Now what happens in month end? This poor person is saying, oh, I have just got a little amount of salary, that too only just 1500 rupees. This middle class is saying, what will I do? Will I pay my children's fees? Will I fill the ration and all? What will I do from this money? The middle class individual is choosing between options, that I can't fulfill this. If I have to fulfill this, I can't fulfill that. Okay, now this rich person is saying, oh my god, this money is so less. How will I buy BMW and all? How will I buy my own apartment? How will I buy my own building? And everyone has different sort of tensions on their own level. No one is happy. Now the month end comes, that is 29th of the month. Day 29th of the month comes, no one has money left. Okay, this poor person is saying, I earn very less. How will I save? Poor one is saying, what? I am very poor. How will I save? I don't have money to save. I don't have money. I cannot save. Middle class is saying, I have so many expenses. I have to look for my children's. I have to look for my wife. I have to look for my office expenses. I have to look for clothes. I have to look for grocery. I have to look for so many things. This rich man is saying, oh my God, how will I fulfill so much of expenses? I am a rich man. I need to be fully equipped with luxuries, but I don't have so much money. I have just 15 lakh rupees. So month end, no one was saving. So do you think all these three people are fools? Do you think all these three people are fools? Come on. Do you think all these three, poor, middle class and rich, all these three category of people are fool? Come on. Let's see who answers. Kind of fools. What is kind of fools? Kind of fools. Yeah. I don't think they are fools. If I am given an opportunity to earn money and I am not told to save, okay, I will not save. What will I do? I will spend the money. Okay. So, if we are not given, for example, if I tell you, earlier what used to happen, our parents inculcated us, forced us to put the money in gullaks, right? But in the current scenario, no one is forcing us. No one is telling do this, do that. No one is telling. It's upon us whether we want to fulfill our needs or we want to save the money. Okay. Now, what happens? This middle class person is saving 1000 per month for medical expenditures, and this rich person also says, if I get sick and all, what will I do? I will save 50,000 from this 15 lakhs. Now this poor person is saying, okay, I'll save 100 rupees every month. Everyone is saving according to their own capacity. Okay, now they are thinking about their future. But no one, if you are thinking about the future, you will save. If you are not thinking about the future, you will not save. Okay, now that this person, middle class, is saying, I can't save 1000 also. I don't have money. I can't save 1000 also. I will spend, and I like being enjoyed and all. Okay, so this act is made for people like him, because they don't know how to save money. Okay, they don't know how to save money at all. So government is saying, you can't save money, I will let you save money on your behalf. Okay, I will make a law and I will let you save money on your behalf. You will not be even informed that you are saving the money. It would be mandatory for you to save the money for your future benefits. Understanding my point? So what happens here is, for people who cannot save money at all, government has made So many provisions for them like EPF Act, pension fund, deposit linked insurance scheme, so many schemes for them so that they can save money, because they cannot save money on their own end. Don't you get it? Did you get it? Now for example, if I say I am earning 30,000 in a month. Okay, I am taking a small figure. I am earning 30,000 in a month. Now 30,000, out of these 30,000 rupees, 15,000 goes to my living expenses, and rest 15,000, out of this 15,000, what I do, I invest 7,000 in shares, and that 7,000 which is left with me are for my monthly extra expenditures. If they come into picture, if they are not coming into picture, I'll put them in a debit. I'll deposit them in my bank account. So what I am thinking, am I a wise woman? Am I thinking right? Come on everyone, am I thinking right? As per my perspective, as for my benefit, am I thinking right? Yes, I am thinking right, because this is what people should do. This is what people should do for their future benefits. So, government said, you can't save, I will force you to save. You just have to earn money. Then your employer will contribute, you will contribute into a bank, okay, into a small piggy bank. That piggy bank is Provident Fund. Okay, now I spelled the word Provident Fund. What does Provident mean? What does word Provident mean? What does Provident mean? What is the meaning of the word Provident? Fund means nothing but a gullak sort of, or a bank account. Fund means nothing but a small space where you can accumulate your entire money. What does Provident mean? No, Provident does not mean provision. Come on everyone, answer please. What do you mean by the word Provident? Timely savings. No, Provident means future savings. Okay, the money which is related with future, the things which are related with future, that's what Provident mean in law. Okay, so that's why this Provident Fund togetherly gave rise to a form of little gullak, in which we will deposit funds which will help us in future. Understanding the concept of Provident Funds? Now moving further, the Employees Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Act 1952 is what? It is a social welfare legislation. See students, what do you mean by social welfare legislation? That means it is for the good. It is for doing welfare to people. So government started this act, Employees Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provisions Act, on 4th March 1952. It came into effect on 4th March 1952. Government started this act because people were not saving money on their own end. So their future was unsecure. So government started this act for a social welfare legislation. Legislation is nothing but a legal way of saving money. Okay, social welfare way of saving money. It is a legal way that you are bound to save the money. It's not your choice that you have to save or not. You are bound to save the money. Understanding? So So Employee Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provisions Act 1952 is a social welfare legislation to provide for the institutions of Provident Fund, Pension Fund, Deposit Linked Insurance Scheme for employees working in factories and other establishments. Okay. Now moving forward, I took the name of 3 acts. The first act is Employee Provident Fund Scheme 1952. The second scheme is Employee Pension Scheme 1995 and the third scheme is Employee Deposit Linked Insurance Scheme 1976. EPF Act, that is the central government, covers three schemes under this act. Okay, 3 schemes under EPF and Miscellaneous Provisions Act. The first scheme is about Provident Fund, second scheme is on pension, and third scheme is on deposit linked insurance. So what is the purpose of the first scheme, the Employee Provident Fund scheme? When it is beneficial for an individual? When can an individual take benefit of that scheme? After retirement? Can I say individual can take benefit of that scheme after retirement? 2nd September is for scheme, not the act. 2nd September is for scheme. We'll come to that also. If you will read in your module, Employee Provident Fund scheme came into effect with 2nd September 1952. Okay, but the act came into force on 4th of March 1952. There is a difference between act and scheme. Scheme is this and act is that which we dealt earlier. Scheme comes under the act. Act comes above the scheme. Please be clear with these small points. Okay, when you are learning law, you should be very clear. The date of the act, when the act came into force, is not given in your CMA study material. But now the paper is MCQ. You should learn it. I think you should learn it. That's why I am teaching. Okay. The Employee Provident Fund Scheme 1952 is for the purpose of retirement. Then what is the purpose of pension scheme? Why they have inculcated pension scheme into this act? What is the purpose? Come on, tell me. Tell me what is the purpose of pension scheme? The purpose of Provident Fund scheme is to benefit the retirement. Okay, after retirement you will be getting a fixed amount which is or you can withdraw it fully also. That is under withdrawal provision which we will deal later on. So you can use it at retirement, but only you can use it. Okay, what is the benefit of pension scheme? The pension scheme is not just for you. After his death, that pension will be beneficial for the family members also. Okay, PF is given to the employee only. It is not beneficial for the family members. Okay, it is for the purpose of employee only. But regarding the pension scheme, it is for employee also and his entire family also. It is a social security, social money which they can use in the entire life. Okay, so pension is different from provident. Nominee can also use. Nominee can also use. Correct. The employee deposit linked insurance scheme. See students, we are so busy in our lives, we don't know what will happen to us next. For example, an employee is worried about his health. I don't have money right now, but I am worried about my health. So government is saying you don't need to worry. We have created a scheme under EPF and Miscellaneous Provisions Act, that is Employees Deposit Linked Insurance Scheme. Under that scheme, you also will contribute a little money, I will also contribute a little money, we both will form a good luck, and from that good luck your medical and other expenses which are insurance related will be dealt with. Okay, understanding everything? Is it clear? Shall I move forward? So these schemes taken together provide to the employee an old age and survivor benefits, a long-term protection and security to the employee and after his death to his family members, and timely advances including advances during sickness for the purchase, construction of a dwelling house during the period of membership. Okay, so there are different purpose of different schemes. Understanding? Okay, moving forward. Now, if I ask you, is the Act EPF and Miscellaneous Provisions Act 1952 applicable to whole of India, including the state of Jammu and Kashmir? I am asking you a question. Is the Act EPF and Miscellaneous Provisions Act 1952 is applicable to whole of India, including the state of Jammu and Kashmir? I will, don't worry. Come on, everyone. So, no, you are saying excluding Jammu and Kashmir, but the Bear Act says something else. Okay, Bear Act says what? Something else. Bear Act is saying, okay, including the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Are you sure it is not applicable to? Are you sure? See, there a newsletter come. You on your screen is a newsletter, Tribune News Service. It is a newsletter of Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, this notification came on 1st November 19. 1st November 2019, they have published this news in their newspaper. This news is stating the Central Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provisions Act 1952 will now covers workers in two newly carved union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh after the bifurcation of erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir on August 5. Okay. Hello everyone. Am I audible? Due to power cut, the Wi-Fi connection was lost, but now we are back with power. Am I audible? So yeah, I am saying in your material it is written EPF Act is applicable to whole of India excluding the state of Jammu and Kashmir. But Google says something else and the Bear Act also says something else. On 1st November 2019, what came? A newsletter came in Jammu and Kashmir which informed the natives of Jammu and Kashmir that now the act which was earlier applicable in Jammu and Kashmir, that act was central. If you read on the screen, that act was by name Central Act will now replace the Jammu and Kashmir EPF Scheme Act 1961. There was an act in Jammu and Kashmir, EPF Act or Schemes 1961, which now ceases to exist. That means now in Jammu and Kashmir also, what will be applicable? Employee Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provisions Act 1952 will be applicable. But not only in Jammu and Kashmir. Union leadership, Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji and supervision of Home Minister Shri Amit Shah, the former state of Jammu and Kashmir has been recognized as the new territory of Jammu and Kashmir and new union territory of Ladakh on 31st October 2019. So this act will be applicable on new union territory of Jammu and Kashmir also and the new union territory of Ladakh also. Understood everyone? So if you ask in short, ma'am, is this act applicable? Ma'am, is this act applicable to whole of India? Yes, it is applicable to whole of India, including Jammu and Kashmir and the newly carved Union Territory of Ladakh also on 31st October 2019. Okay, I have researched it yesterday night only because in so many books it was given wrong. So this is the updated portion. Kindly, it can come in exam because this notification came on 31st October 2019 and 1 November it got implemented. So 1 November your in your exam all the amendments which are before 6 months, okay, now you are standing in December, right? So till June whatever came, it's applicable to your examination. So if it comes, please tick yes, whole of India, including the state of Jammu and Kashmir. No, including the union territories, two newly carved union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. Okay. When it was informed to the Jammu and Kashmir people, Tribune News Service informed to the Jammu and Kashmir people by way of their newsletter on November 19, 1st November 19, the day on which it came into effect. So it is very updated portion. No one has covered till. So talking about Employee Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provisions Act, it consists of how many sections? 22 sections. How many sections? 22 sections it covers. Okay. So this is the list of sections. From this list, not every section is in your course. These whole sections are in the final level, but in your course some sections are there which I will teach you at the intermediate level. Okay. Now comes the applicability. What is the applicability of this act? Talking about the applicability. So this act is applicable to every establishment which is a factory. Now they are saying it is applicable to every establishment which is a factory. From factory comes what? Factory is a place where manufacturing process is done. Okay. I am talking factory is a place where manufacturing process is done, right? If factory is a place where manufacturing process is done, that means if I am making chocolates are being made in a factory. Okay, manufacturing of chocolates is done in a factory. Is this process of manufacturing of chocolates is considered as a factory? Yes. But on the other hand, if I say that these chocolates which are manufactured are packed and then sold from one unit to the entire market, is it a factory? Here no manufacturing process is being carried out, no sugar, syrups and all chocolates and all are put into a machine to derive a new form of chocolate. No such thing are done, just packing is done. Is it a factory? Will this process will be called as a manufacturing process? Will this process be called as a manufacturing process? Come on everyone. Why will it not be called as a manufacturing process? I taught you Factories Act, okay? What does Factories Act say about manufacturing process? Manufacturing is producing, altering and pumping water, oil. Everything is a manufacturing process in law, okay? Manufacturing process has a very detailed definition. For example, if I want new clothes for Diwali, I am taking a cloth material and I am giving it to tailor. Tailor is producing a very beautiful dress for me on Diwali. You will see on Instagram. So, will that be a manufacturing process? Packing is also a manufacturing process, my dear students. the definition which was applicable of manufacturing process in Factories Act will be applicable to this act also. Okay, so this came in exam in descriptive questions. Okay, you can check your previous year question. This came in exam. That is packing a manufacturing process? Yes, it is. It is a manufacturing process. Okay, section 1 subsection 3 provides that subject to section 16, this act is applicable to every establishment which is a factory. Now you know what is a factory, where manufacturing process is being carried out, and manufacturing process has different categories. Okay, in any industry specified in schedule 1. So there is a schedule 1 which specifies a lot of industries. Schedule 1 is there which specifies industries. Okay, so this act is applicable to every industry, factory which is specified in schedule 1, in which how many persons are employed? 20 or more persons are employed. They have written in law that packing is manufacturing. This came in your exam, that's why I have put it here. This was a bit different. I'm not lying. Trust me, I'm not lying. No ma'am, you are lying. I'm not lying. You are saying ma'am, you are lying. No, I'm not lying. Mayuri, packing is manufacturing process. Under manufacturing process, packing is a part. Packing is also a manufacturing process. It is about giving a new shape to something. Okay. So it is applicable to every factory which is specified in schedule 1, in which 20 or more persons are employed. Now, how many more? How many persons are employed? 20 or more than 20 persons are employed. Now, the factories which are not specified in schedule 1, to any other establishment employing 20 or more persons, or class of such establishment which central government by notification in the official gazette specify that particular act is applicable to particular class of people. I am specifying in the official gazette. This act is applicable to those people. Okay, but they are not covered in the schedule 1. Remember this. Central government may apply the provision of this act to any establishment employing such number of persons less than 20 also. Not less than 2 month notice is to be given by central government to such establishment. Now, a central government is saying that there are less, seeing continuously a organization, noticing organization that the employees are so hardworking and they are getting very less paid, they are not able to save, their life is not going well. So some of the people go to the approach central government and tell about their problems. So central government grant them the license to for the applicability of EPF Act. Okay, I am applying EPF Act in your organization, though the number of persons is less than. Be happy, Diwali gift. Okay, but for doing this, central government has to give the notice before 2 months. Before 2 months to such establishment. Now, central government has told you don't have 20 persons, don't worry. If you are capable, I will give you the provisions of EPF Act. You will make your good luck of your own. Don't worry, I will give you. I'll give, but central government has to give notice of not less than 2 months before applicability to such establishments, which central government is applying the act to which central government is applying the act. Now, on the other hand, where it appears to Central Provident Fund Commissioner. Okay, who is that person? Central Provident Fund Commissioner. Can I become a Central Provident Fund Commissioner? Come on, everyone. So, Central Provident Fund Commissioner, where it appears to the Central Provident Fund Commissioner that employer and the majority of the employees have agreed that the provision of this act should be made applicable to their establishment. He may by notification apply the provisions of this act to that establishment on and date from such agreement or from subsequent date specified in that agreement. Okay, so I am asking, can anyone become a Central Provident Fund Commissioner? No. Central Provident Fund Commissioner is appointed by central government. He is a person of independency, so that he does no partiality with anyone. He keeps a check on all the organization to which EPF Act is applicable. He sees that whether they are following the provisions of EPF Act or not. Understanding my point? So, where if I want this act applicable to my organization, but this act is not applicable because I have just 19 people in my organization, I go to Central Provident Fund Commissioner. I am saying, sir, our employees are very hardworking, but they are not able to save money. And how will their future be secured? How you have to do something for our organization. So Provident Fund Commissioner becomes emotional and says, don't worry, ma'am, I will make applicable this act to your organization. Don't worry at all. I'm there. I will make it applicable to your organization. I and that Central Provident Fund Commissioner will sign an agreement on this, and from the date of that agreement, this act will become applicable to my organization because he has granted me the license of EPF Act. Understood? Once the act is covered to any establishment, it shall continue to apply, notwithstanding the number of persons therein shall at any time falls below 20. See, EPF Act demands that employer shall also contribute and employee will also contribute. Some employers are very greedy. They are saying, okay, now my organization has 19%, earlier it was having 25%, so the government implemented is EPF Act on me, so that I have to contribute to the employee. I am not getting anything. I am paying him salary also. I have to contribute to his retirement stage also. Why do I make good luck for him? He goes to the central government and says, now 19% are there. Now no act is applicable. I will not pay any contribution to my employees. So government is saying, you greedy person, don't worry. It is mandatory that if the employee count falls below 20 also, you have to pay. You have to, this provision will apply to you. Don't worry. We have analyzed each and everything, that what is going to happen in future. There might be people like you also. So basically, in short, what does section 1 subsection 3 say? It is applicable to every establishment which is covered under schedule 1 wherein 20 or more persons are employed. If not schedule 1, it's okay, 20 and more persons should be employed, but central government may by notification should specify. On the third hand, what they are saying, central government, if there is some organization, so central government is looking at that organization from so long time, so it can apply that provisions of this act to that organization, okay, if number of persons are less than 20 also. But where it appears to Central Provident Fund Commissioner that particular organization needs this act or needs the provisions of this act, I will go to Central Provident Fund Commissioner and say them that this is scenario, our employees are so hardworking, please make this act applicable to our organization. Okay, so that employees will be a little bit happy. So in that case also this act will be applicable. Now for the persons like greedy employers, this act is not applicable. Understood? Greedy employers, sorry, this act is applicable for greedy employers because they don't want to contribute to the employees. So the government has made it mandatory that if your employee count falls below 20 also, then also this act is applicable to you. Will you remember this? This all can come in MCQs. You have to remember it anyhow. Now comes the next. There are 3 case studies given in your syllabus. Good Shepherd Public School versus EPF organization, Messrs. Naziruddin BD Merchant Limited versus CPF Commissioner, Anamma Liap versus Regional Provident Fund Commissioner. So what happened in the first case? Good Shepherd Public School versus EPF organization. It was held that a school rightly covered under PF when the principal has affirmed about the employment of 20 employees. In schedule 1, schools are also covered. They are saying that if the employee count is above 20, if the employee count is above 20 and the principal of the school has told to the central government that please make this act applicable to us, our employee count is above 20, so this act will be covered to them also. So this was a judgment in the case Good Shepherd Public School versus EPF organization. Now the next case, Messrs. Nasiruddin BD Merchant Limited versus CPF Commissioner. Who is CPF Commissioner? Central Provident Fund Commissioner. In this case, the judgment came, Supreme Court held that this act would apply even in respect of home workers engaged through contractors and cannot be objected anymore. What is happening? For example, who all are in this class? For example, Priyam is constructing his house. Okay, Priyam, on the occasion of Diwali, Priyam is making this house. Wait, I'll draw it. Priyam is an individual. He is getting a house constructed. And he is building a 3-story house. Okay, 3-story house and a beautiful terrace and everything. So he approached a contractor. Contractor's name is Vidhan. Contractor is Vidhan. Now what this Vidhan is doing? Vidhan is bringing so many laborers, 20 laborers approx, 20 plus laborers for the construction of this house. So these laborers are involved in construction of this house and they are getting paid 300 rupees per day. Each and every laborer is getting paid 300 rupees per day. That is a nominal charge in India. So what happened? Will this act be applicable? Will these 300 earning employees or 300 earning per day earning laborers, will they be getting EPF? Will they be contributing towards EPF? Will their contractor has to contribute to their EPF? Yes. So this was sorted out in the case Messrs. Nasiruddin BD Merchant Limited versus Central Provident Fund Commissioner. In that, Supreme Court held that even though you are not the main employer but you are a contractor, under you so many employees are working, you should make this act applicable to them. It is applicable to home workers also, which are engaged through contractors. Understood? Will you remember this case? Give a thumbs up in the live chat. Okay. So Supreme Court held that this act would apply even in respect of home workers engaged through contractors and cannot be objected anymore. Now comes the next act, Anammaliyap versus Regional Provident Fund Commissioner. It was held that wherein an establishment, the strength of the employees at a particular time is below 20, it cannot be contended by the employer that the establishment is no longer. Okay. Now I'll give the example of this. So for example, Yogita is the owner of a big manufacturing house in which chocolates are being manufactured. Okay. What she is doing in her organization, in her factory or organization, whatever, 25 persons were working. But due to lockdown, she could not pay salary to them. Okay, she was very greedy. Yogita is saying, I am very greedy. I will not pay. Whatever I am earning, I will see. So what she does, for exempting her liability to contribute in the provident fund of the employee, she also has to contribute. Okay, she is the employer. So many employees are here. She has to contribute 10%, 10%, 10% to each and every employee. So her profits will be little bit reduced. So she plays a trick. Out of these 25 employees, she resigns some employees and the employee count came to 19 as per the EPF Act. Now government is saying, why have you not paid your provident fund to the employee? She is saying, law says employee count is below 20, you are not covered under this act. Central government, if wants, will be can make this act applicable. Government is saying, are you being very smart? No, you don't have to play very smart. We know that some employers exist like you, so this act is still applicable to you. This is all just mere cheating, nothing else. You are a greedy person, you have to pay. We have already analyzed the situation like this. Don't fool us. So if once the act is applicable to your organization, even if the employee count has gone below 20, still the act will be applicable to you. Understood? Moving towards non-applicability of section 16 subsection 1 to any establishment registered under Cooperative Societies Act 1912. This act is not applicable to any establishment under Cooperative Societies Act 1912 for the law for the time being in force in any state relating to cooperative societies employing less than 50 persons, in which less than 50 persons are employed and working without the aid of power. Okay, so there is a cooperative society which is registered under Cooperative Societies Act 1912 or under any law for the time being in force, a state relating to cooperative society. So there is any cooperative society, whether it is registered in act or whether it is registered through state permits it for being the cooperative society which has less than 50 persons and they are working without the aid of power. This act is not applicable to them. Okay, to an establishment belonging to or under the control of central government. There is an establishment which is belonging to or under the control of central government or a state government and whose employees are entitled to the benefit of contributory provident fund or old age pension in accordance with any scheme or rule framed by central government or the state government governing such benefits. So the organizations which are under the control of central government or state government and whose employees are benefited from other benefits which government is already giving, this act is not applicable to them. Basically the government servants. This act is not applicable to government servants. To any establishment set up under Central Provisional State Act whose employees are entitled to the benefits of the Contributory Provident Fund or old age pension. So again, if the employee is covered under Central Provisional or State Act, that means a government employee again, but in another perspective. Here Provisional Act is also applicable, State Act and Central Act is also applicable. So to whom, who are the people to whom this act is not applicable? First, cooperative societies where the employee count is less than 50% and they are working without the aid of power. Word is without the aid of power. Please remember this. And to any other establishment which is under the control of central government or state government, basically who? Government servants. On the other hand, if an establishment is set up under Central Provisional or State Act whose employees are entitled to the benefits of Contributory Provident Fund or old age pension in accordance with any scheme, so they already are getting benefit from government. Government is saying this act is not applicable to you because already you are getting so many benefits from us. Now comes so many important definitions. Now comes the point where MCQs can start. Okay, appropriate government. Appropriate government section 2 subsection A defines the term appropriate government in relation to any establishment belonging to or under the control of central government or in relation to an establishment connected with a railway company, major port, mine, oil field, a controlled industry. In relation to establishment having department in branches in more than one state, the appropriate government is central government. In relation to any other establishment, the appropriate government is state government. What does this mean? Appropriate government means which government will function on the organization. Okay, if the organization is belonging to or is under the control of central government, in that case the appropriate government is who? Central government is the appropriate government. Now, what are the organizations which are under the control of central government? A railway company. Railways are under the control of central government. Now, major port. What is this major port? You know what is mine, you know what is oil field, you know what is controlled industry which is controlled by central government. So, in all these cases, central government is the ruling authority. Appropriate government is central government. But what is this major port? We are not familiar with this word major port. What is major port? Please tell anyone. What is major port? See, you know there is a river bank in which so many peoples are putting their goods, and from that the goods will go into ships, and that port which is owned and successfully occupied by government, that is a major port. Okay, it is on the river banks. Port means what? River bank related. Through ship. And good. So for those people, these are all the central government organizations. So central government is the appropriate government for them. In relation to an establishment having department or branches in more than one state, the appropriate government is central government. If the branches of any organization is spreaded in more than one state, for example, if one branch is in Maharashtra and one branch is in Madhya Pradesh, so in that case appropriate government is central government. In relation to any other establishment, the appropriate government is state government. Any kind of establishment leaving these above ones, so state government will be the appropriate government. So basically, in short, if the organization is government owned, central government organization like railway, major port, mine, oil field, controlled industry, appropriate government is central government. If the organization is having branches or departments in different states, appropriate government is central government. If in relation to any such establishment which is different from the above two, the appropriate government is state government. Now comes next definition, authorized officer. Who are the authorized officer? It is defined under section 2AA. Defines the term authorized officer as Central Provident Fund Commissioner. Central Provident Fund Commissioner is the authorized officer. Additional Central Provident Fund Commissioner, there is an additional Provident Fund Commissioner also if he is not available. Deputy Provident Fund Commissioner, Deputy Regional Provident Fund Commissioner who is region wise, or such other officer which central government will appoint in the official gazette. So basically, who all are the authorized officers? Central Provident Fund Commissioner, Additional Provident Fund Commissioner, Deputy Provident Fund Commissioner and Regional Provident Fund Commissioner. CADR, by the word CADR you can remember. Now comes next, basic wages. What will be the wages under this category? Section 2 subsection B defines the term basic wages as all emoluments. What does emoluments means? Which the employee is getting by way of getting from the job, means all emoluments. Okay, so all emoluments which are earned by an employee while on duty or on leave or on holidays with a wage in either case in accordance with the terms of the contract of employment, which are paid or payable in cash to him, but does not include the cash value of any consideration, any dearness allowance, okay, HRA, overtime allowance, bonus, commission, similar allowance payable to employee in respect of his employment of work done, any any presents made by the employer. If an employer is giving some gifts also, it will not be included. So basically, what all things are included? Just all the things which the employee is getting from employer, okay, his salary, bonus and all, okay, which he is getting. But so many things, whether he is getting it on daily employment or he is getting as a paid leave, whatever he is getting from employer is basic wages, but it does not include cash value of any consideration. For example, if shares are there, employees having some shares, the cash value of those shares will not be included in the basic wages. If any dearness allowance is there, it will not be included. If any kind of You can say HRA is there, house rent allowance. It will not be included. Overtime allowance if the employee is getting, it will not be included. Bonus also, it will not be included. Commission if the employee is getting for getting some work done as an agent, it will not be included. Other similar allowance will also be, basically no allowance will be included. Now on Diwali, employer is giving employee 10,000 rupees as a present in the envelope. This will also not be included in basic wage. Now comes the main thing, that is contribution. What do you think contribution is? Okay, so what is a contribution? For example, there is an employee, Ramu. There is one more employee, Shamu. There is one more employee, that is Sita. I am taking very basic orthodox name. Okay, there is one more employee, Sunita. So these are the 4 employees. Okay, Sunita is earning 10,000 per month. Sita is earning 12,000 per month. Ramu is earning 11,000 per month. And Sham is earning 14,000 per month. Okay, different people are earning different amounts. Okay. Okay. So now here is Sunita. Sunita is earning how much? 10,000. As per the governmental laws, employer has to contribute 10%. I am taking a figure that is 10%. Okay, basic, so that it becomes easy for calculation. It is just an example. So Sunita is having 10,000 rupees, right? Sunita is earning 10,000 rupees. Now employer will contribute 1,000 and employee, that is Sunita, will also contribute 1,000. So basically this 1,000 will go into a gullak. Total 2,000, 1,000 by employer and 1,000 by employee. This will go into a piggy bank and this 2,000 will be the provident fund of the employee. Among it, employer has contributed 1 and the same amount, equivalent amount is contributed by the employee. Okay, so like this it happens. So defines the term contribution as contribution payable in respect of a member under a scheme of contribution payable in respect of an employee to whom the insurance scheme applies. So there is a piggy bank here. Okay, so this is the bank. Employee is also contributing, employer is also contributing. That pooled fund will be called as provident fund. Simple. Now tell me, in the case of Sita, you have to tell me by calculating at your end how much will be the provident fund if the rate is 10%. Sita is having 12,000 as a salary. How much will employer contribute, how much will employee contribute, and how much amount will go into the piggy bank of provident fund? Come on, tell me, please. See, out of this 12,000, the 10% is 1,200. 1,200 the employer will contribute, 1,200 Sita will contribute herself. So total 2,400 will go into the piggy bank. Don't you think? Yeah, correct. So like this we can calculate for all the people. Correct, Vidhan. Now comes fund. What does fund means? Fund means nothing, just a small bank where the fund is accumulated so that it remains separated. It means Provident Fund established under the scheme. It is this kind of a small gullak. Employer section. What is the section of employer? 2 subsection E. Who is the employer? Employer in relation to an establishment which is a factory. Again, factory means manufacturing process, and manufacturing process includes so many things. The owner or the occupier of the factory, including the agent of such owner, occupier, legal representative of a deceased owner or occupier, and where a person is named as a manager of the factory and the person so named. Okay, so what they are saying, who is the employer, who is owner, who is occupier, who is agent of the owner. Now, if the owner is dead, his legal representative. If the occupier is dead, his legal representative will be the owner in that case. Okay, will be the employer. Now, on the other hand, if there is a manager of a factory, so he will be the owner or the employer. Okay, in relation to any other establishment which is not a factory, which is not a factory. So in those establishment, person who or the authority has the ultimate control of affairs. Now, for example, I have an organization, Priyanka's Collaborative Learning. It is an online organization. Okay. So I have this organization. I have the ultimate control over the affairs of the company. If I want some person for editing, some person for maintaining my PPTs and all, so I am having the ultimate control of affairs. So I will be the employer in that case. If I am appointing some manager, so that manager or managing director or managing agent or manager or managing director or the managing agent will be the employer. Understood? So this is very simple. So how is it very simple? In case which is a factory, owner, occupier, agent. If owner and occupier are dead, the deceased legal representative of the deceased. If manager is appointed, then manager. If it is organization is not a factory, in that case the person who has ultimate control over the affairs of the organization. Now comes employee. Who is the employee? So less slides are left, just 2 or 3, don't worry. Stay in class. Employee section 2 subsection F defines the term employee as any person who is employed for wages in any kind of work, manual or otherwise, in or in connection with the work of establishment, and who gets his wages directly or indirectly from the employer, and includes a person employed by or through the contractor, engaged in an apprentice, not being apprentice, engaged under Apprentice Act. So basically they are giving the definition of who? Employee. So who is an employee? Any person who is getting wages in kind for work which is manual also, online also, otherwise there is no such thing that work should be like this only, manual or otherwise, in connection with the work of the establishment. The work which they are doing, whether manual or otherwise, should be in connection with the work of the establishment, and who will get his wages directly or indirectly from the employer. Now contractor, the laborers employed through contractor are also included. Apprentice is also included, but that apprentice should not be covered under Apprentice Act 1961 or under standing orders of the establishment. Let me give an example. So here is a person named X. This X is employed with an organization called ABC Corporation. This organization is a pharmaceutical industry. Okay. Yes, it includes an apprentice, but not an apprentice under Apprentice Act 1961. Okay. So this employee X is under the organization ABC Corporation, and they are manufacturing medicines. That is a pharmaceutical factory. Okay. Now this company which is manufacturing, this factory which is manufacturing medicines, okay, they are giving to Mr. X 21,000 as salary. Okay, I am taking a small figure because 21,000 is not permissible by law. By law only 15,000 is permissible for regular. So okay, I am taking 15,000. This Mr. X is getting 15,000 as salary. Okay, so Mr. X getting 15,000 salary will be the employee. Okay, now Taking another case, Mr. Y. Mr. Y is also employed in ABC Corporations, but he is under the advertisement department. And ABC Corporation has hired an advertisement company as their agent for the purpose of advertisement. So this Mr. Y is not getting salary from ABC Corporation. He is getting salary from the advertisement company. So it is indirectly from the employer. It was direct, and this will be indirect. For example, 10,000 is his amount. So this will be indirect. So he will also be called as employee. 15,000 is maximum. But there are some cases also. You have not seen your brothers and sisters working in abroad, working in India, Infosys, Amazon, earning lakhs and lakhs and still contributing to PF. How? So there are exceptions also to 15,000, which we'll deal later on. I am just covering the definition parts now. Okay. So employed by or through the contractor. This was the case in which first case I took, he was getting a direct salary. Second case, he was getting an indirect salary. Now, for example, if I am getting my house constructed, a contractor is coming, he is having so many, a contractor is coming and he is saying, okay, these are my 20-30 employers and they will work in your house, and the amount which those 20-30 workers will get, they are also getting wages, so they will also be considered as employee because they are employed through contractor. For example, there is an apprentice, but he is not covered under Apprentice Act. He is covered under, he is a normal apprentice which is not covered under Apprentice Act, or he is not covered under Standing Orders of Establishment Act also. So apart from these two acts, he is a normal apprentice. He also can be covered as an employee. He also comes under the definition of employee. So remember all these small points. Now comes the case in Prakash D. Shah versus Union of India. High Court held that a partner of a firm having a status of beneficiary will not be employee either to be covered or counted under the Act. So there is a partner in a partnership firm who is having the status of beneficiary, that is a minor. Okay, so minor is not called as an employee. He will not be considered as employee because his status is just a beneficiary. He is not contributing to any kind of losses. Understood? Please give a thumbs up in the live chat if you have understood this slide. Now comes factory. Factory under section 2 subsection G defines the term factory as any premises including the precincts thereof. Now what does this mean? Any premises including the precincts thereof. See, there is a factory. So this is a factory. Here also some machines are being laid down, but they are not, this is not a space enclosed by wall. So here and here, these are precincts and this is a factory. So factory is not only just the buildings, precincts are also included in this factory. Okay. Now manufacturing process should be carried on. What process should be carried on here? Manufacturing process. Now you know in Factories Act I taught you what is the manufacturing process. If you have not seen, go and see it. And ordinarily so carried on whether with the aid of power or without the aid of power. Power should be there or not. It is dependent on the organization. Law says if you are a factory and you have precincts also, you are a factory, it's okay. But is manufacturing process is being carried on in your organization? If yes, then I am granting you the status of factory as per section 2 subsection G of EPF and Miscellaneous Provisions Act. You don't have power, you have power, don't worry. Just manufacturing process is the key. If the manufacturing process is being carried on, you are a factory. If not, then you are not a factory. There are walls also, na? It's not open. I'm just giving an example that everything enclosed by walls. Okay, now comes occupier of the factory. Defines the term occupier under section 2 subsection K. Occupier of the factory as the person who has ultimate control over the affairs. Okay, or where the said affairs are entrusted to a managing agent, such agent shall be deemed to be the occupier. For example, Mr. X is having a organization which is manufacturing chocolates. Okay, so he is the occupier. Now Mr. X is going abroad and he is giving all the powers to Mr. Y that I am going on my behalf, be the agent. So this agent Y will become the occupier in that, because he is not available, he is entrusting all the powers to Mr. Y. Okay, this is in the case of occupier, section 2 subsection K. Now comes little bit cases. Shrikant Datta Narsimhavara Vodiyar versus Enforcement Officer Mysore. It was held that person who is in charge or responsible for the management or ultimate control over the affairs of the factory in the event of entrustment to a managing agent, such managing agent shall also be deemed to be the occupier. Okay, so from this case only managing agent became the occupier. As I told, X is giving powers to Y, so this Y being the managing agent will be considered as the occupier. After this case, this law came. Okay, so you have to remember this case, Shrikant Datta Narsimhavara Vodiyar versus Enforcement Officer Mysore. Okay, now comes BK Vasu versus Regional Provident Fund Commissioner. High Court held that the clear meaning of the occupier indicates a person who is in actual possession and the control. It may be an individual or firm. Unless notice is given by notifying the individual or firm, all members of the firm are to be liable. Okay, so if there is an organization and there is a person who is having ultimate control over the affairs of the organization, unless a notice is given, all members will be liable. If the notice is not given, just the occupier will be liable. Is it clear till now? Shall I proceed? Just 2 slides are left more. No worries. Now comes next acts. Schemes. The act provides 3 types of schemes: employee provident fund scheme, employee pension scheme, employee deposit linked insurance scheme. And section 7 also gives power to the central government to amend and vary the either prospectively or retrospectively the scheme, the pension scheme or the insurance scheme as the case may be. Okay, so these schemes we will deal in the evening. Is the lecture clear? Is the lecture clear? Now my dear students, we are meeting again. Tell me if you want the class at 8:30 or you want the class at 9. In this, I will be dealing with the rest of the provisions in a bit fast way because so many little provisions are left, like penalty and some sections of deposit schemes and insurance schemes and so many other schemes, pension scheme, provident fund scheme. Then we will do 15 MCQs. So when should I take, at 8:30 or 9 p.m.? When should I take, at 8:30 or 9 p.m.? Mayuri is saying 8:30. Everyone else, are you comfortable with 8:30 timing? Because I will be dealing with some good MCQs also. So I want you to attend those MCQs live. Everyone should attend that. Come on everyone, please answer. There are 6 people watching live. You can answer. Vidhan, Priyam. Okay. So we are taking class at 8:30 tonight. So kindly meet me at 8:30 because 2 people are saying 8:30. Thank you everyone. See you again at 8:30. Love you all. It is just a 1 hour lecture. 1 hour lecture. Left one is just a 1 hour lecture, and we will be done with EPF Act. Then I will provide you a revisionary lecture also, in which you will cover the entire EPF very fast. Just a 1 hour lecture, that too single liners, not much. Just the introduction part is to be dealt very detailed so that you understand the act. We are done with the introduction part. Now other things can go fast. So thank you everyone. Take care. I'll see you again at 8:30. I'll share the link in the live class just now. Don't worry. So that would be part 2 of our today's lecture. Stay blessed. See you again. Thank you so much.